Hello, everybody, and welcome to Facebook Live Ask Admissions from Stillwell Theatre on the Kennesaw campus of Kennesaw State University. I feel a little bit like I'm talking in a presidential debate, so pretty cool.
Sam is our moderator.
Sam's the moderator. Jacinta and I love it. Let's do this. Let's change the format right now.
Should I scoot my chair back?
This is obviously a different set than we normally have. So we'll tell you a little bit about what's going on today, but we have an extremely important guest. Wonderful person. You may have seen her on many of the Instagram takeovers, talking about all things Fafsa and life in general. So I'll let her introduce herself, and then Jacinta, and then I'll get into the news from the nest.
Awesome, thank you, Jordan. So my name is Samantha Helgeson. I am one of the assistant directors in the Office of Scholarships and Financial Aid here at Kennesaw State. Today is October 1st, so not only is it the official first day of spooky season, the FAFSA has also opened up for the next academic year. So basically, I am just here to encourage you guys to get that application filled out as early as possible. And we are just here to chat about financial aid and life at Kennesaw State.
Yeah, but your FAFSA isn't spooky.
FAFSA's not spooky, correct. We're here to break the stigma.
There's no irony there, yeah.
Right.
I'm Jacinta Lester. I'm the manager of admissions for special populations.
Smooth as can be, always.
Smooth,
So you may notice that the set behind us looks a little different than normal. And we are inside Stillwell Theatre on the Kennesaw campus, as I said before, and we have a really cool setup because we actually have a play going on right now. Tonight, 7:30, I think is the time. It's 7 or 7:30. I believe it's 7:30. And it's Grace, the Art of Climbing. So you see this really cool climbing set. There's more pieces that you can't even see that are off camera. So we thought about what's a really good metaphor for the FAFSA. And I want to say that most of you probably feel like it's going through this kind of obstacle course that's behind us, but it's really not. So Sam's going to tell you about it and make it not feel like the set that you see behind us. Now, that's not why we're on set today, is to pull out some half thought out metaphor that I came up with all of 2 seconds ago.
It's pretty good at it.
It works. It works.
Yeah.
That's why I said don't bring the climbing wall out. I'll just use this because it makes sense. But no, we're going to make it easy for you, make it straightforward. And really, as I find in so much of life, it's just about getting started. That's really the biggest hurdle. It's not the actual act of doing the FAFSA in this case, which opened today, yay. It is just getting started. And then as you get started, you realize, oh, this isn't that bad. And you get it done, and all of a sudden, that big burden is off of your shoulders, off of your life. So we're going to help you with that today. And that's why we do Facebook Lives, and that's why we have awesome people on like Sam to help you out. So a couple of other things going on here at KSU before we jump into all the awesome financial aid stuff and scholarship stuff that Sam wants to talk about. I don't know if you know. Sam, I don't know if you know this. I know Jacinta knows. But we have in-person campus tours back. They're back, baby.
Woohoo, we're back.
That's right, back in black and gold. I just came up with that right there, too. Matter of fact, I heard on the radio today, AC/DC is going to have a new album. So anyways, there you go. So that's a throwback for all the parents that are watching. Students are like, who's AC/DC? Unless you're into electricity or something or whatever. We're back in black and gold. We have campus tours, both campuses. So go to visit.kennesaw.edu. We would love to see you here on campus in person. We've been offering tours now for 2 weeks. We have had some incredible visitors so far. Vast majority of our tours have been full. We are socially distancing. Great. We have the room set up so you can't even sit in a chair that's going to be within 6 feet of somebody else, the way that we do it. And we just want to make sure that you're taken care of, that you're comfortable, you're coming here, and we get to show you campus. And that's really what the campus tour is all about. Coming here, feeling out, is this going to be your future college home? So please sign up for a campus tour. We also have a ton of other things going on. This is a very busy month. October, November, they're big months in the admissions world. So as we're going through October, we have virtual regional information nights for first-year students or freshmen. So if you're in high school from anywhere within the state of Georgia, and you have yet to have the chance to really talk to your admissions counselor, learn about what's going on at KSU, ask some of those in-depth questions that you want to ask to an actual human being. These are going to be your opportunities. We have events in October and November just for you. You go to our visit.kennesaw.edu website and you click on special events, and you're going to see it's the very first thing you see. There are 4 dates here in October. Once we get probably about midway through October, we're going to post all of the November dates. So you'll be able to see all of those, but we're covering every part of the state of Georgia. So sign up for your region when you go in there. And let me say this, if you go in and you see a date here in October, you really want to meet with us, but that date doesn't work for you for any number of reasons for your region, sign up for one of the other ones. We would love to just talk to you. We would love to have you on there. You may or may not have your specific admissions counselor in that session, but that's it. So we have wonderful people working in the admissions office that just want to talk to you and make this college application process simpler, kind of like what we're going to talk about today with financial aid. Other things going on. So we have every other student type. If you're a dual enrollment student, Jacinta has dual enrollment sessions that are virtual here in the month of October. If you're an international student, we have sessions for you. If you're a transfer student, we have sessions every single week that are accessible for you, whether they be in the afternoon, we're doing some in the evening, we're even doing some on Saturdays. So even though we're virtual, we recognize it's still not, doesn't mean you can just jump on your computer or on your phone at any point in the day. So we're still making things as accessible as possible for you. And then we even have a session in Spanish coming up. So if you speak Spanish in the home, you would prefer to hear about admissions information completely in Spanish. We have that coming up. It's October the 8th. I remember the date for that one. So you can sign up for that under the special events portion of the Visit website as well. Other things to make note of here now we're at the beginning of October. You have roughly a month to get in your priority deadline application if you're a first-year student and you're applying for fall 2021. So it may seem like that's a long ways away, but you're in your senior year. It's now time to apply to college if you haven't done it yet, and I know a lot of you haven't because I'm looking at the app numbers every day. It's part of my job. So there's plenty more students that I know are going to apply to Kennesaw State University. You've got about a month to get your application in for the November 2nd priority deadline. Why should you apply for the priority deadline? Well, students that apply by our priority deadline are going to receive a decision in time to be able to sign up for housing when housing opens, and housing historically opens the beginning of December, to sign up for orientation so you can get the earliest possible orientation for fall 2021. Why is that important? Because the earlier you come to orientation, the earlier you register for classes. And when you're coming to a big public institution, we're going to be honest with you. When you're coming to a big public institution, you want to be able to register for classes as early as possible because you really get to tailor your schedule. So for fall 2021, if you know you're in high school right now, and you may say, I absolutely do not want to take an 8 a.m. class. And I get that. That may be you, right? For me, I loved the morning classes. It may seem weird because I loved being done. I know everybody's making faces.
Yeah, that's weird.
Because I loved being done by lunchtime. I love to be able to like go to lunch, chill out, then have the afternoon to study.
Right. Study.
Yes, or you may have found me asleep many times in the library in a nice comfy chair. So not many times, just a few times if my mom's watching. But you know, that's what I like. If you're not like that, if you want to take later morning, afternoon classes, that's you, and you get to pick your schedule. So sign up for orientation as early as possible. If you want to lock in housing on either the Marietta campus or the Kennesaw campus, you want to lock it in early, you want to sign up for housing. If you know Kennesaw is going to be your home fall 2021, that's why you apply priority deadline, so that you can do all those things. Also, our scholarship application historically opens in November every single year, and that's for the following academic year. Opens November, goes all the way through into a designated month in the spring. It could be February.
1st.
There you go, February 1st. Thank you. I'm glad Sam's bringing the knowledge.
February 1st.
So February 1st, so you have 4 months to fill out the scholarship application for fall 2021 all the way through summer of 2022. And it still sounds so much like the future when I say anything 2022,
right?
all these 2020 things, and then anything past 2020. Wow. So, but you want to be one of those people that's able to fill out the scholarship application, which serves as the one scholarship application for all of the scholarships that we offer here at the university, and it opens in November. So you need to make sure that you apply by our November 2nd priority deadline, which honestly you need to apply now. And much like the FAFSA when we talk about it today, it's really just about starting the application and getting it in. It's not really a big deal. So it's all information you already know about yourself. So keep that in mind. Spring deadline coming up is November the 20th for all student populations. So if you want to be a dual enrollment student coming in the spring, you want to start in January, maybe it's your last semester of senior year, you want to go ahead and knock out a couple of college classes, get high school credit for it. Or if you're a transfer student and you know you've been meaning to come to Kennesaw State, now's the time. You've got until November the 20th to apply. So we're taking all student populations November the 20th for spring of 2021. All right. And then the last thing, or actually two things I want to talk about, sorry. We've made this announcement a couple times. It's actually on the website, the admissions website, admissions.kennesaw.edu. But I just want to make sure that this is known. So for any 2021 term, spring, summer, or fall 2021, we are not requiring the SAT or the ACT. Matter of fact, even our honors college is not requiring the SAT or the ACT. And little plug, we have a day with honors tomorrow. So if you want to come to the very first A Day with Honors in person back for this next year, we're having one tomorrow. There you go. You can shoot me an email. I can get you on the list, get you backstage, you know, that kind of cool stuff. No. But
I know a guy.
Know a guy, yeah, special pass. But no, you can come, and we'd love to have you for A Day with Honors. So applying for any of the 2021 terms, if you're a first-year student or you're a transfer freshman, we are not requiring the SAT or the ACT. We simply will look at your high school transcript, and then if you're a transfer freshman, if you have, which would mean you have some college credit, we need to see your college transcript as well. And that's how we can consider you for admission without looking at SAT or ACT. So pretty cool. If you have those, you can still submit them. It's not that you can't submit them. And if you're below a 2.6 academic GPA, then you need to submit SAT or ACT, and we can still consider you for admission. But all of this information is available on our admissions website. The last thing, I know this has been a long, news from the nest portion. I feel like I missed out because Jacinta did the last one.
True.
In mechatronics, really cool.
Okay, I watched that.
Super jelly.
That was a way cooler background than this. No offense.
So
Yeah.
No offense. This play looks really cool.
Yeah.
It was
The lab looked really cool.
Being there was really cool.
Tell us a little bit about it. Yes. It was really cool. Like, what was cool about it?
All of the different things that students can do as like freshmen. The robots that they have there were really cool. The professor who sat with us was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was the bomb, as Becca said. He was so cool, and he was engaging and excited to tell you all about it. So I loved it. I loved being there. I think we should do more Marietta things.
Yes. We used to do all of our Facebook Lives from Marietta, from the Dogwood Room. But anyways, so if you want to check out that really cool set that Samantha dropped, and we totally threw Jacinta for a loop.
I know, I wasn't ready, y'all.
It's the last Facebook Live. You can see it here on Facebook. So cool. Go check it out. And see all the cool things that are going in the mechatronics and robotics lab on the Marietta campus. But the last cool thing I want to talk about and make sure you're up to date on is we are having virtual open house. It is a totally unique experience. We are not going to Zoom you out. So I know we are all, frankly, tired of Zoom. I'm just going to be blunt. We're all tired of Zoom. That's really a big reason why we ramped up our Facebook Lives and Instagram Lives and Instagram takeovers like Sam did today. All those cool things back in the spring when COVID really hit, and we had to start making decisions in all aspects of life. But we thought about what's a different way to connect, and not through a platform like Zoom. So we are doing our virtual open house event. It's a week-long event, October the 19th through October the 23rd. That's on Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. each day. So Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. You come and go as you please. We're going to broadcast live like we do just with this. on Facebook, on YouTube, and we'll even have some cool stuff happening on Instagram. But we're going to give you the chance to join us on Facebook and ask questions. You can join on YouTube and ask questions of all the different academic sessions that will be happening. We're going to have financial aid and scholarships there one night. We're going to have our campus services, which is housing and dining. We're going to have student affairs there. We're going to have all sorts of different groups that you want to hear from, learn about KSU, learn what they can do to help you as you're a student here and even beyond. And this is going to be a great way for you to connect, and connect in a way that's not just through your phone, through your computer, like many of us are doing class and life and meetings and all this kind of stuff all the time. My advice is, if you have a way to cast to a TV or pull it up on a TV, on your smart TV, you know, whatever, you know what I mean when I say this kind of stuff, is do that. So you're not just watching it through the computer, watching it through a phone, and interacting that way. You know, sit on your computer or sit on your phone, ask questions while you watch it on your TV. That's my advice. So there you go. Cool way to interact. Totally different. I'm telling you right now, nobody else is doing what we're doing. Now I really feel like I'm back at a presidential debate. But you come on to Facebook Live or YouTube Live when we're doing this week-long event. Nobody else is doing this. I dare you, go look at other institutions that are out there. They're not doing what we're doing. We have a fantastic broadcast team. They are the ones that put on this thing every time we do it, and we're so thankful for them. But without them, there's no way we'd be able to do it. So anyways, October 19th through the 23rd, check it out. There'll be a whole website landing page for it. If you go to visit.kennesaw.edu, we're going to be able to get you there and get you registered, and that way you can stay up to date with all the cool things that are going to be happening. So there you go. And then also you get to save it once it's up on Facebook. Save it as an event. You'll get a reminder about it. There you go. Okay. Awesome. That's everything news from the nest. So I don't even know how feel like I took up like 20 minutes.
No.
Yeah, I will. Sam,
Yeah.
tell our Facebook friends all about yourself. I know you've done this with us before, but we have new people that are out here watching.
Okay.
Fresh eyes, fresh minds. They want to hear from you. How did you get to one, be here at KSU, and how did you get to work in financial aid? And tell everybody a little bit about like what your day-to-day is like.
Okay. So Kennesaw State was actually my first choice when I graduated high school
Hooty
back
Hoo.
in 2010. Yeah, so I am an alumni. And while I was a student here, I was a federal work study student. I actually worked with the retired professors and faculty, or basically retired professors and staff. And that was basically, I fell in love with higher education. I kind of knew that this is what I wanted to do. And financial aid just happened to be one of the first jobs I found. So in October, wow, it is October. So at the end of this month, it will be 6 years that I've been here full time now.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I mean, again, I've been bleeding black and gold since 2010. That's what I say. My running joke is, y'all can't get rid of me. I'm not going anywhere, so sorry. But yeah, I mean, so my day-to-day is I'm over the counseling side. So again, I've got an alpha split. I work certain emails for students. We get calls through our communication center. We have walk-in assistants up at our front desk. Really, a lot of our day-to-day is communication with the students, their parents, scholarship donors, other organizations wanting, to get work study students. There's just so much in financial aid that you never really think about. And honestly, it's been such a good fit for me. I feel very blessed to be here. And I love doing this kind of random, out of my comfort zone type of things with you guys here. I'm typically on the other side of the screen, but I enjoy doing stuff like this too. It's never a boring day in financial aid. We can definitely say that.
Sammy, you're great when it comes to just like answering questions. If you ever have a question,
thank you.
Sam's your person, because
You're my
always
go-to person too.
Sam, I need your help with this question.
God bless Microsoft Teams, right?
She's great and she gets right on it. So if you're in her alpha split, just know you have one of the best financial aid counselors, because Sam
Thank you. We all try very, very hard. Yeah, I mean, any of you guys are always more than welcome to reach out to me, just because I may be a familiar face to you. Again, I've done this stuff a couple times now. Again, you may know me just from being on campus for so long. But yeah, I'm always here for you guys. I'll get a little bit more into detail about how you can find our contact information in a little bit.
Nice.
So
Do you have a
Sorry.
question? Oh, okay.
I thought you were going to ask a question.
I started to.
Well,
and
let's
I was
watch
like,
each
wait.
other's mouths. It's
I was just gonna say, just getting started with just financial aid, because today is the first day for students to fill out their FAFSA. What should they expect when it comes to filling this out? Like how they should do it, where they should go, all of the good stuff when it comes to getting started with financial aid for applying to college.
Okay, so the first thing I would honestly recommend doing is pick your top 5 colleges. Of course, Kennesaw is going to be number 1. Look at their deadlines. You want to make sure that you're following, your top choice schools' deadlines. So here at Kennesaw State, our priority deadline for the FAFSA for next year is going to be March 1st. So shoot to get your FAFSA done before that, but again, priority date for us is March 1st. We will always accept your FAFSA after that point, but again, March 1st is the deadline that you should shoot for. So again, look at other schools and just that way you know you're on top of your A game. So again, the FAFSA opens up today. The first thing you're going to want to do is make sure that you have an FSA username and password. So back in the day when I was a student, FAFSAs used PIN numbers. Do you guys remember the PIN?
yes.
Yep, so pins are long gone. Parents, you guys might remember that if any of you guys are watching. So what basically it is called is an FSA username and password. So the parents will have their own set and then the student will have their own set as well. So I would definitely start with that because you need that to basically log into your FAFSA. And that is also the code you will use to electronically sign the FAFSA, again, as a student and a parent. So that would be my first step. After that, it's really just sitting down and starting the application. I wouldn't, as a first-time filer, maybe 30 to 45 minutes out of your day. It really doesn't take that much time. If you've already done a FAFSA and you're renewing it, it'll probably cut that time in half, maybe 25 to 30 minutes. So what you'll want for the 21-22 academic year is 2019 tax information. So the FAFSA uses something called prior year information. So basically your tax data is from 2 years ago. So if you filed taxes in 2019, you'll definitely want that. Even if you just had a job and you didn't file taxes, you'll want to dig up that W-2 and then make sure you have mom and dad's tax information on hand as well. So when you're doing the FAFSA, there's something called the data retrieval tool, and that will actually link the FAFSA website to the IRS. So you just type in the information. If it can verify it for you, it just pulls in all of that information, much less of a headache. You know the information's accurate. You don't have to worry about, oh, I typed an extra 0. What do I do? You don't want to type an extra 0, trust me.
Sam, quick question about that.
Absolutely.
What do you say to people that say, I don't want to give out that information? I don't want to connect it to the IRS. What is that? I mean, I know for my own personal use, and I have a college-age student that I fill out my portion of the FAFSA every year, and she fills out her portion. I use the data retrieval tool. I mean, because I want it to be, as dummy-proof as possible. So I use the tool. It works every year, and it's easy for me. But I've talked to people that have said, I don't want to do that.
That's fine. So if it's a security reason that you're concerned about, when you actually utilize the data retrieval tool, all of your tax data is masked. So it doesn't actually show you your AGI. It just says transferred from the IRS. So again, if you have concerns that information's not right or it's inaccurate, you can always look at the FAFSA after it's submitted, and it will show you the information in what's called the Student Aid Report, the SAR, that the student gets emailed to them. Again, it is a federal website, the FAFSA. It is protected. I don't want to say that you shouldn't really have any concerns, but if you do have concerns, you're welcome to visit campus. We do have computers available here that you guys can use our internet connection and complete the FAFSA here. But again, the data retrieval tool is not required. You are welcome to type in your own information if you are not comfortable, linking your FAFSA to the IRS.
Nice.
We're flexible.
Thank you.
Can we walk it back and tell everybody what the FAFSA stands for? Because I know sometimes.
Do you guys want to guess?
And pronounce it for them.
FAFSA.
Yeah.
So the first F in FAFSA is
Free.
It's free. Yes, that's my go-to line. Because sometimes if you Google FAFSA, some people do. There's a FAFSA.com website, and no, the first F in FAFSA is free. So F, free. A, application. FA, free application. F,
Federal.
FAF.
Yeah.
Free application for federal. S, student, A, aid, F-A-F-S-A, free application for federal
I feel
student
like we
aid.
need to stand up and like
Like
spell
YMCA
it. Yeah.
type
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
All right,
That's
maybe that'll be
gonna
some
take some
homework.
work.
Yeah.
We'll work on it. We'll do it again.
Bloopers or something.
Some next year. You got to watch next year.
Yeah.
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 So but that is what the FAFSA is. It is literally your application for federal student aid. Even if you are not planning on utilizing your student loans or federal aid, some scholarships require that schools give them your FAFSA information. So, you know, if you're applying for a scholarship and they want to know your EFC or your expected family contribution, you have to do a FAFSA for that. Again, even if you're not planning on using it, that is absolutely fine. We still encourage every student to complete one because you really never know. You really just don't ever know.
Yeah. Can I share a personal story here?
Absolutely,
I talk
please.
about this all the time. When I was a freshman, I'd finished my freshman year at my alma mater, and getting ready to go back to school, and my dad had lost his job. Now, my dad was the breadwinner in the family by far, and I attended a private institution as well. So getting ready to go back, I mean, that's well past priority deadline. That at that point over the summer, we're talking about it's past like, you know, the late deadline. I mean, you know, you're at a point where financial aid people look at you going,
Like school started yesterday.
what? Yeah, yeah. You didn't fill out the FAFSA? What? You know, kind of like you don't have a pencil? You know, I mean, you came to class without a pencil? I don't know. This was back, we didn't have cell phones. And so anyway, well, we did, but you know,
But they were,
whatever.
You couldn't do anything.
Yeah, you just played Snake on it. You didn't call anybody. So, anyways, but we had to scramble. We had to scramble, and of course we could talk about whether I should have gone to school or not at that point, you know, or pick somewhere else to go to school. That's for another day. But in that moment, my family was like, "Oh my gosh, we never filled out the FAFSA." I mean, even I remember my dad asking me, "Hey, did you fill out the FAFSA?" And I was like, "No." You know, so I mean, why would I have done that? So that being said, scrambled, and thankfully, you know, my alma mater worked with us, and everything ended up working out. My dad got another job, and everything was good. But you know, that was a tumultuous experience and time, and especially for I mean, immature 19-year-old like myself, to go, oh, I've never filled out a FAFSA, right? And I've said this now for years. I've been working in higher ed for 14, almost 15 years, and I've told this story from the beginning. You should, even if you're Michael Jordan's kids, you should fill out a FAFSA. Now all of his kids are grown, but
LeBron James.
well, I've changed it
We've
some over the
moved
years.
it.
But Michael Jordan's cool again because of the whatever it was, whatever that show. Stop. Whatever that show was.
Last Dance.
I didn't watch it because we
I
don't
don't-
have
oh,
TV.
the
Last Dance?
documentary? Yeah,
Is that what it's
something
called?
like that.
Okay, great.
I don't
Thank-
know.
Now I look like
watch it.
You got it, yeah.
now I look horrible. But see, we don't have TV.
I said
so.
you should say LeBron James because he has young kids.
LeBron James would
There
make
you
a lot more sense, right?
Yeah.
But I still, Michael Jordan is my era. Anyways, okay, so if LeBron James connects with you, then even if you're LeBron James's kids, then you should fill out a FAFSA. You never know what's going to happen. And Becca's right. I used to say Usher because we're in Atlanta, so Usher's from Atlanta. But yeah, you never know what's going to happen, and it's so much easier, like Sam said, to just not accept the aid. You just don't accept the aid if you're not going to use it. It's not like
It's a great backup plan.
We don't force it upon you, you know.
Or
so-
heaven forbid your laptop breaks and you know you need that student loan money to help. It's there.
Right.
You don't have to worry about scrambling to get the application done. And again,
Right.
that's why we encourage you guys to just get it done early. It's just one less headache. It's one less email you're going to get from our office, one less postcard you're going to get in the mail because we will find you. I mean, help us help you get your FAFSA done early.
Yeah,
That's
there
just
you
the simplest way I can say it because, again, if you're not doing your FAFSA, you will get emails from our office saying, hey, where's FAFSA? And you'll get sick of us, and I don't want that. I want us
Right.
to have good communication.
Fewer emails for everybody.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Right.
who doesn't want to, like, junk out that, you know?
wanna be Sam's friend.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We want to be on your good side, so we don't want to start it back, you know, just, again, help us help you. Get that FAFSA done early. Again, it's one less thing you have to worry about.
Sam, something I thought about as we've been talking about all of this, just to ask the question, like, what is the FAFSA? What does it stand for? And I do find in sometimes the conversations that we have in admissions that people don't necessarily understand what financial aid is. You know, so would you give just a bare bones, like, what is financial aid?
Financial aid is basically anything that's going to assist you to pay with college. So a lot of people call us, say, oh, well, I didn't get any financial aid. Well, you have student loans on your account. That is part of your financial aid. No, it is not quote unquote free money. You have to repay it, but that is financial aid. So financial aid can, combine loans, grants, work study, scholarships, anything like that, again, that's going to help pay towards your tuition, that is considered financial aid.
Nice. Thank you.
Sam, you talked about that you were a work study student. Can you kind of go into a little bit of detail of what that's like for a student? Maybe from your experience, but then also just what is a work study student?
So again, I really liked being a work study student because basically what work study is it is a student worker, sometimes on campus, sometimes off campus, but basically you have to have financial need. So my paychecks were basically funded partially by Kennesaw State and partially by the Department of Education, as if it was a financial aid award. But again, it is just a biweekly paycheck. I loved getting to know campus again from like this retired individuals. They just learning about KSU in their first 50 years, and it was just so unique, to hear about our past presidents and how we came from college to junior college, and now we're this university, and it was before consolidation, so it was just very interesting for me to just see the ins and outs. And again, I love working with people, so it was kind of something in my interest lane anyways. But basically, to be qualified for work study, there is a question on your FAFSA that asks if you want to be considered for work study. You can indicate that to say yes, or you can just log on to our website and there's an individual work study application. Again, it is based on federal need, but we do have regular student assistant jobs on campus as well, and you do not need to have any financial need for that. You don't have to do a FAFSA for that, but again, I loved working on campus. I just thought it was really cool as a student.
Nice. Well, we have some questions, so we want to answer all these awesome questions.
Cool.
Fire away, Becca.
Okay, I have one first, and I think this is one of my favorite things. The code. So talk about our code and at what point the student can fill in. I mean, we know we want them to apply to KSU, but maybe how the codes work, and they could send it out all at one time just for ease.
Okay, so we're talking about the FAFSA school code. So when you are completing a FAFSA, if you're doing it electronically, you can put up to 10 schools on there. So for Kennesaw State, you can search us by name, but our school code is 001577. It is in the comments.
Nice.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Again, 001577. We do not have access to see the other schools you put on there. So it's not like we're going to say, oh my gosh, they put Georgia State on there. Ooh, we're not going to. No, that's not how it works. They're masked. Again, you can send your FAFSA up to 10 schools. I highly encourage you. Again, that's why I would first say look at all of your schools and check their deadlines so you can put them all on your FAFSA and just, again, over and done with, and it's taken care of for all your top choice schools.
Becca's got a hot mic now. Somebody gave her a super loud mic, so she's ready. She's ready.
The first question.
Talk like you're Jacinta, and then perfect.
Just how do you deal with that? How rude. No.
Love you, Jacinta.
I'll just.
All right, cool. Good question.
Okay. So let me scroll back up. Okay, so here, sorry, I lost it. Okay, I'm a graduate student and my daughter is a graduating senior.
Wow.
Will I use my FAFSA login information, or do I create a new parent login?
That's a great question. You should be able to utilize one of them for both applications. Just make sure that when you're doing your FAFSA, you're entering it about you, and then when she's doing hers, when it says you, it is her, and then when it says your parent, it's you as a graduate student. But you can indicate on your FAFSA that you have a daughter in college as well. So yeah, one FSA username and ID should work for both.
Yeah, just be careful.
Yeah, it gets really confusing because that's the thing.
Although probably all the data is the same, so it's just.
We see a lot of students who duplicate their parents' income because the parent's doing their FAFSA and they're reading your. So they're thinking, oh, well, I made X amount of money, but your is really the student. It will say your parent when it's referring to your parent. So, again, we say reading is fundamental. Just read it slow. Read the notes. It will benefit you, trust me.
Okay.
Good
Awesome.
question.
We've gotten a lot of questions, and we have all of our lovely campus partners answering them. But can you touch on again I like to call them like the 3 big next steps: FAFSA, housing, orientation. So lots of questions about when housing and orientation open. Like I said, we've answered them, but maybe reiterate the importance of like knocking those 3 things out as early as possible.
Yeah, right. Lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. Sorry, I thought of Wizard of Oz. That's for Jacinta.
The Wiz.
The Wiz. Ooh, we should do the Wiz version. It's way better. Oh gosh. Okay, sorry. I was thinking about
So
other
FAFSA,
things.
housing.
This is why we have Sam here.
We won't forget scholarships.
Oh,
so
my.
those 4 big
Yeah,
things
yeah.
that are opening up the fall semester for fall 2021.
Right. I think the important thing to think about is doing things early benefits you and your well-being. It benefits when you have time to be able to go ahead and do things, so that once you get into the spring, for instance, you're less stressed, especially if you're a high schooler, you're a senior, you're hoping for graduation. I hope life is normal for you. Prom. Yeah, I hope life is normal for you when we get into the spring. I hope it's normal again for all of us, as normal as it can be. But the main thing is that it's to not put this stuff off. Because we know from life, and you're busy in high school, and there's a lot of moving parts, and things happen in terms of what you have to do for class, and maybe you're working outside of class, you have family stuff going on, and you're preparing for your future. So it's really best, it behooves you to do things early, do them when they become available, like today. Like if you're thinking about, okay, it's Thursday night, I just heard that the FAFSA is open, I'm going to go tonight and I'm going to just veg out on 3 hours straight of YouTube streaming. Okay, you could do that. It's your prerogative. But let me maybe be your Jiminy Cricket for a second and say you probably should at least take 30 minutes of those 3 hours and do the FAFSA, because you just learned about it today. And how awesome would it be to knock this thing out the very first day that you learned about it, right? So, those kinds of things, if you do them in chunks, you don't wait till the last minute and have to do it all at once, you're setting yourself up for success. You'll have a whole lot less stress in your life, and then you're able to able to transition to college a lot easier. So in Schlossberg's theory of transition, as I've learned about in my graduate degrees, if you have, we all have transitions in our life, and it's about understanding how that transition, something's making a lot of noise, it's Becca. As you're transitioning, how can you make those transitions less stressful? So all the different things that you recognize in transition. And this is one of them. Transitioning to college is a huge transition in people's lives. So we're here to help you, to make this easier, make it less stressful. So October 1, FAFSA is open, get it knocked out. That way, when November 1 rolls around and the scholarship application opens, boom, you can knock that out in November. So it's basically like you have a to-do every month. October, FAFSA. November, you've got the scholarship application. December 1, you've got 2 to-dos. Okay, sorry. So orientation and housing, boom, boom. Knock those things out. And then you go into winter break, and you're in incredible position. You go into the spring, you're talking to your friends, and they're like, I'm so stressed out about all this college stuff. And you're like, I got it. I'm going to KSU. I've locked in my FAFSA. I've locked in my scholarship application. I locked in my housing. I'm ready to go.
Just chilling.
Right? And then who knows? 10 years, 15 years later, you're CEO of some incredible company because you put all this discipline in your life and you were able to do it. That's my dream for you. Or whatever you want to be. Maybe not a CEO, but it's up to you.
10 out of 10. Motivational speaker.
Yeah.
So Sam, you filled out your FAFSA. So it's scholarship time. We've moved on to November, like Jordan said. Can you talk a little bit about what that looks like for our students here at KSU?
Absolutely. So the scholarship application, you can find it linked through your Owl Express, or you can find our website under types of aid. The scholarship link will be right there. Again, basically, like Jordan said, it's one and I don't want to say it's lengthy, but it is one application, and it will automatically apply you to all of the individual scholarships that we offer here at KSU. Again, I would say we probably have anywhere from 5 to 10% of our students receive scholarships. The application will close February 1st. So again, it's a short window, so the sooner you get it done, the better. And then we typically start notifying students around May on whether or not they received a scholarship.
Nice.
And we're going to have Sarah Baumhoff from the Office of Scholarships and Financial Aid on with us on the 29th to talk all things scholarship.
Oh, perfect, right
Nice.
before the
Yeah.
application opens, a little
Yeah.
refresher.
The
It's
bomb
like
hop.
we planned it that way. Okay, I got another FAFSA question.
Okay.
Do you fill out the FAFSA yearly?
Yes, so the FAFSA is done once every academic year. It is done once a year. It will use different tax information for each year. So again, if you are looking for student loans or trying to get that Pell Grant eligibility, FAFSA is required every year. However, if you are only interested in Hope or Zell Miller, you don't have to do the FAFSA. You can do what's called the GSFA application, which is online at georgiafutures.org, and that will last you 10 years. But again, it will only give you Hope or Zell. So I mean, honestly, it doesn't hurt to do both. Just get your GSF app done once, you never have to think about it
That's
again.
right.
And then honestly, just put a reminder in your phone. I know iPhones work like that once every year, October 1st. Next 4 years, you're done.
You're already calling them out on it.
You're
I
done.
know phones will work like that.
Even in my
That's
Instagram
awesome.
story, I like put all the dates
Yeah.
and I said, screenshot this. It
Oh,
will
perfect.
benefit you. Like we don't put it out there for us. We put it out there for you guys.
Yes.
Utilize our resources for sure.
I feel like that should
That's
be
so
our
cool.
hashtag. We don't put it out there for us. We put it out there for you.
That's a long.
I like it.
You retweet it.
Yeah, retweet.
Retweet.
Hashtag. Yeah. This is a fun
Okay,
Facebook
I have
Live.
a couple more questions. I'm not sure, I'm sure you guys know what, TOEFL, it's all caps score.
TOEFL?
TOEFL.
Okay, so I have a question about that, so I'll read that. Okay, so Tulio says, how do I send my, is it TOEFL, is that how you say it? Or
TOEFL.
TOEFL score. Can I email it along with my high school transcript? Do I have to include specific info about my app in the email so the admissions office can link it to my transcript? Or does it go through the Common App application?
I want to say you can send your TOEFL scores through College Board because it's a standardized test. So they can send them that way. Callie Rendon is our counselor, our international counselor for students who have TOEFL scores or documents that are outside of the states. So if you have questions about your TOEFL scores or if you have any transcripts that need evaluations, feel free to reach out to Callie because she would be a great resource, but I believe you can submit them electronically through College Board and they can send them to us that way.
Yeah, that's the easiest way, and that way we know we can link it up with your application. And then if you have not heard from Callie yet, she did an Instagram takeover yesterday, massive Instagram takeover. She talked to
Lots of good questions.
everybody
lots of good guests.
on
Yeah.
question on campus. Yes,
Mine
it was
does not compare to
fantastic.
that.
So Becca said it's highlighted. Go check out our Instagram feed, and you're going to see it up there in one of the cool bubbles. There you go.
I'll put that in the comments and I'll leave Callie's email.
Yeah, perfect. Good
Okay.
question.
Yeah, really good question. Okay, so Ernest wants to know, they completed their FAFSA in April of this year, but did not attend for fall 2020. How do I know if my FAFSA will fall into spring of 2021 or will cover spring of 2021?
Okay, so definitely I recommend just reaching out to our office. You can email us at finaid@kennesaw.edu, or you can reach out to your counselor. I will make sure that the link to the Contact Us section gets posted in the comments here. But basically, if you did not attend for fall and you didn't attend anywhere else, your FAFSA should still be valid for spring semester. Once you register for classes, let us know and we will make sure your aid is back out there and ready to disperse for you. Again, just try and let us know once you register rather than like waiting for January. Just forbid there was some type of an error hanging it up, but it should just be ready to rock and roll for spring.
Nice.
The FAFSA,
you're good, you're
the
good.
FAFSA we have right now, so the one that you submitted in April will be good for this current fall semester, spring, and then summer as well. And then the FAFSA that opens today, just to reiterate, starts with fall 2021.
Yeah, so it covers all 3 semesters for the school
Mm-hmm.
year. And then Ron Day, I was gonna say Ron came in and answered just like you did.
Aw.
Nice.
Coming in.
Do the bomb.com, Ron.
What up,
Hey,
Ron?
hey, hey.
Okay,
Our fearless
Katie-
director.
Yes, fearless director. Katie wants to know, does the FAFSA work for Zell and Hope too? So just clarify again how that process works.
Yeah, so absolutely. You can do your FAFSA every year, and again, that will cover Hope or Zell Miller. It's one or the other. You can't get both. And it will offer you student loans if you wish to use your loans. It will check you for Pell Grant eligibility. And yeah, again, it will include that Hope or Zell. However, if you don't want to do a FAFSA and you're only interested in Hope or Zell, you can do that GSFA application at Georgia Futures. And again, you don't have to do that every year. It's once and it will last for 10 years.
Awesome. Okay, I had another one about GREs. Will we be requiring the GRE for the social work program for 2021?
It's a graduate
Okay.
program.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can list a, should I just list a link?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get you a contact in the grad admissions. In the grad admissions. I was
We'll
going to say
find
like
that
the
link
graduate
for you.
school, and then I
Yeah.
combined it. Yeah, in grad admissions, right? So there you go. We only handle undergrad. I would love to be able to be super knowledgeable about all of the grad side as well, but I think my brain would overflow. So
You do have a lot of knowledge.
thanks. Yeah, or something. A lot of something in there.
Give you the benefit of the doubt.
Okay, I think
Okay.
that's it for questions for now.
Awesome.
Okay.
I know that, Sam, you talked a little bit about Hope and Zell Miller, and I still also find a lot like we talk about financial aid. I think there's a lot of misinformation out there about Hope. You already even alluded to one of them. Students or families feel like they can get Hope and Zell Miller. I mean, that'd be incredible. Just stacks on stacks on stacks. But I think that's what the kids say. But anyways, tell everybody out there a little bit about Hope, about Zell Miller, and what the difference is.
Okay, so Zell Miller, it basically requires a little bit of additional, the merit is a little bit higher. It includes SAT scores and ACT scores, and you can reach out to Georgia Futures if you have questions about how that's going to work. But basically, they are tuition-only awards. Again, here at KSU, Hope covers about 90% of tuition, and Zell covers 100. Honestly, it's only like a $200 difference here, so you're not missing out on a lot. But again, Zell would cover more than Hope. They pay a flat rate per credit hour. It will pay anywhere from 1 credit hour a semester to 15 in a semester. So there are another common misconception is you have to be enrolled at least full time to get either one of those. That is not true. Again, you could take like a 1 credit hour class and it would still pay for it. It just won't pay for any more than 15 in a semester. And again, yeah, you can't get them both at the same time because they're both tuition only awards. So again, once your tuition's paid, that's the purpose of the award.
Right. And yeah, I usually have this conversation with families, especially when I'm talking to the Honors College eligible people. And the difference between Zell Miller and Hope is $18 per credit hour.
Yeah.
So if your student misses it just by a hair, if it's because you have to have a 3.7 to qualify for Zell plus the SAT or ACT requirement. So if your student ends up with a 3.65 Hope GPA, as Georgia Student Finance calls it, don't be mad at your student.
Yeah,
Don't take it out on your student.
Don't be mad at yourself.
Yeah,
either.
and exactly. Yeah, student, don't be mad at yourself.
It's so minute. It's
right.
not exactly. That's
Right.
a great point because some people feel like, oh, well, my friend got Zell and I didn't. Like,
Right.
No, it is not even like that. First of all, it's nobody's business what you qualify for. But no, never get down on yourself. You should be proud to get Hope because I'm not gonna lie, I did not have Hope graduating high school.
Me neither.
I did gain it. And then I lost it, and then I gained it again. But that's neither here nor there. But no,
story for
I'm not.
another day.
We are not here to judge you. Like,
Overshare.
No judging.
No. Yes, that's a great point.
About that too. I mean, I know this is different, but like minimum hours for aid to kick in, that made me think of that. Like, don't you have to take a certain amount of
Yeah,
hours
so
to
that's
Find a child, yeah.
a super good question. So,
Yeah.
okay, course program of study. That is a federal requirement, meaning your financial aid that's federal, so student loans and your Pell Grant are only going to pay out for classes that count towards your degree. So again, if your loans require 6 credit hours, so that's for the most part 2 classes. Both of those classes have to count towards your degree program in order for your financial aid to pay. Hope and Zell, they are considered state aid, so they do not have that caveat. But again, to reiterate, 6 credit hours to get your student loans, and they all have to count towards your degree program. If you qualify for Pell Grant, it will prorate, again, based on the amount of credit hours that actually count towards your degree program.
So question about financial aid, just in general use. Student that is choosing to not live on campus,
Okay.
can they use a portion of their financial aid to pay for, say, an apartment bill?
Yeah, absolutely. So once your bill with the bursar's office is at $0, any additional financial aid that you received will be refunded to you. And you can use that for any educational expense you feel necessary. So yes, absolutely. Your private apartment, gas to put in your car to get to campus, book money to replace your laptop, that is basically what that refund is for. Absolutely any type of expense that you incur as a student. So yeah, off-campus
well
housing.
said.
On-campus housing, most of those will automatically be applied since those are through your bill with the bursar's office now. But yeah, absolutely, you can use a refund for off-campus housing if you get a refund.
Nice.
How do students get their refund? Like, when does that kick in?
So typically we disperse about a week after drop ad ends, and then refunds are usually a week or so after that. So refunds are processed through the bursar's office, and you've got 3 options. You can keep it with Bank Mobile, you can have Bank Mobile transfer it to a personal bank account, or you can just have a check mailed to you. And basically it is up to the students to indicate what their refund preference is, and you can do that process online as well.
Nice. Jacinta, how would you take your refund? Mobile, deposit, or check? We tease. Sorry, I'm not even going to let her answer.
Spend your money?
We like to
What
tease
he's
little.
saying is that I'm an old lady and I like my checks to be able to go to the actual bank and, deposit my check that way.
Pay for things with a check. We love Jacinta. We love Jacinta from the bottom of our hearts, but we do like to tease her a little bit because she still pays for things with checks. And it's the cutest thing. It's the cutest thing.
Listen, I've gone to on the telephone paying my bills. So that's different. It's a step up. It's a step up.
Wait.
Not even
hold on.
online,
You're
the
telling.
phone?
Hold on. You're talking. Hold on. This is even better. You're talking to a human over the phone, and you're
No, it's
giving.
automated.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen, guys.
Oh, so it's it's a computer
It's a computer.
that's talking to you,
Yeah.
and you're listening.
Like, I have to pay my house note, and
Yeah.
I'm going to pay it over the phone.
But you could do it online, like
No.
Sam said. No. Okay.
No.
Anyways, this is why you watch Facebook Live. I hope Wendy's out there, our old friend who likes Wendy.
Well, she's just a freshman now, so I think she's hopefully, well,
She
Hopefully
probably
she
still
still loves us.
yeah, that's
She
right.
needs us.
She still
Yeah.
pays
Who
attention.
am I kidding?
Wendy's
Right.
super cool. So and Wendy likes Jacinta more than me, and that's okay. But this is why you watch Facebook Live. You get to learn about all of us, right? You learn about our inside stuff. We let you in on some of the jokes, the things that make the office fun, stuff like that. Our cool campus partners that we get to hang out with, it's just this is why you watch. It's not just
Real life,
boring
guys.
information,
fun.
right? This is cool stuff. Yeah. Okay, you had a big question.
I do. Okay, so Judy wants to know.
Judy.
Yep.
I have an aunt named Judy. She's cool.
I-E or Y?
That's a Y.
Oh, she's I-E.
Oh, I'm okay.
Close but no cigar.
Bye,
That's
Judy.
cool. Can you apply for the Zell Miller Scholarship for winter and spring semester if you did not get it for fall? Was scheduled to take SAT in spring, but COVID stopped it.
Okay, so yes, as long as you meet the requirements for Zell Miller coming out of high school and or GSFC works with you with your test scores, I think they originally said they were going to allow testing through December to update your Zell Miller eligibility. But yeah, if they determine you to be eligible for Zell, then yes, we will pay you for your spring semester. Again, if you didn't enroll for fall anywhere else either, there's no grades that will affect that. So yeah, your Zell Miller would carry over.
Nice.
All right, that's it for questions, and we have about 5 minutes left. Do we want to fit anything else in?
Whatever we come up with right now, yeah.
Yes.
Jacinta, any other questions for Sam?
Tuition, out-of-state tuition waivers.
Oh, yeah.
How does that work for a student?
So we have a wonderful department, tuition classification.
Shout out to Sarah.
Yeah,
and Elizabeth. What up, what up?
What up?
So they are really awesome people. They are located in the registrar's office. They will be able to assist you with that. There are several different types of waivers, and they all kind of have their own ins and outs. But yeah, they will be able to assist you in getting that determined because, yeah, I mean, if you've been a Georgia resident and you think you should qualify for in-state tuition, it's definitely worth looking at. They've got a really short quiz, it's interactive quiz on their website you can take to see if you think you should be considered in-state. But again, yeah, just don't hesitate to reach out. And again, same thing, we've been plugging all, the earlier the better.
Yeah, absolutely. So for instance, we have one of the out-of-state tuition waivers. It is competitive in undergraduate admissions. We also have one for international students. So it's not just you out of state, you out of state, you out of country. So we have one for international students. We have one for out-of-state students. And so if you're a student out there and you're from Maryland or you're from South Carolina and you're interested in Kennesaw State, I recommend you fill out the application for the out-of-state tuition waiver. It's on our admissions website. It's a simple application to fill out. You do have an essay component. Like I said, it is competitive. So go on there, fill it out, and do it as early as possible. It will close March the 1st. But get that application in, and who knows, you may get an out-of-state tuition waiver. From admissions, it takes you from paying out-of-state tuition all the way to in-state tuition. So it ends up working out to about a $9,000 per semester scholarship. It's a big deal. It's a really big deal. So
That's great that you guys offer that.
yeah, it's nice.
Very cool, very
It's
cool.
nice. Well, we have had an incredible time with you, Sam. The time has flown by.
Yeah.
But we always like to ask our guests, what's one thing you want to make sure you leave with our Facebook friends? What's the one piece of advice you want to leave them with? So when they leave, they log off of Facebook, hopefully, and go do what you tell them to, that they're ready to do it, and they're in really good shape.
Just not waiting till the last minute on whatever it is you decide to do, whether it is filling out the FAFSA or whether it is just contacting our office about a specific question. Help us help you. We are here to help, especially in times like this. We understand a lot of parents, their jobs have changed, a lot of students, their jobs have changed. We can't promise you anything, but please reach out to us. We can at least walk through some additional options you might have, what your next step should be. Again, even though it is October 1st, we're not scary people. The FAFSA was not a scary process. Like Jordan kind of hinted on, it is just about start the process. Again, say, hey, Mom, Dad, can we spend, half an hour, 45 minutes together? Let's just get this done. Make it a family bonding experience.
That's right.
Again, it doesn't take that long. Just sit down and do it. Your parents will probably be blown away that you're taking the initiative on something. So go ahead and impress your parents. Say, hey, let's get your my FAFSA done. Let's get your tax documents. Call your accountant. Start collecting all that information. But again, yeah, help us help you. Do your FAFSA early. So again, opens today. Our priority date, March 1st. Scholarships open November 1st, close February 1st. One thing I did not talk about that I kind of want to touch base on real quick, verification. So a lot of the times when students do their FAFSAs, they get selected for a process called verification. It doesn't mean you did anything wrong. 30% of every school's population gets selected. Basically, Kennesaw State then requires additional documents be submitted. If you are selected for verification documents, our priority date is May 1st.
Got it. May
So,
1st.
Lots of dates, but again, they're on our website if you ever forget.
Nice. Okay. Very good. Good pieces of advice here. I'm going to say from admissions, if you're out there, you're questioning what you're doing, you watch this and you feel overwhelmed, we're here for you. I know our financial aid folks are here for you. So just reach out to us. If you go to our website, there's easy ways to connect with your admissions counselor. If you're looking on the right-hand side of the page, if you go and click on transfer or freshman or any of our student classifications, dual enrollment, all of our contact information is there. You can set up an appointment with us. We can meet with you virtually over Teams or Zoom or all those different platforms. We can just talk on the phone like old school. You can shoot us an email, all that kind of stuff. We just want to make sure that you're getting your questions answered, that you're feeling comfortable about the process. And that's going to allow you to do what Sam said, and that's going to take those next steps, move forward, be in a really good position. to be successful as you transition to college or as you are transferring to us, things like that. So, yeah. Well, we always end with a Hooty Hoo and owl eyes. So let's make our owl eyes still socially distanced from each other, miles and miles away. Yes. Thank you all for joining us for Facebook Live. Have a great rest of your day. Hooty Hoo!
Hooty Hoo!